Hi there, Aquarius, and welcome to this, your November 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, and welcome. And people ask me, do I do personal clairvoyant readings wherever they may live in the world? The answer is yes. The details are in the description. I also provide healings. Healings are provided for free, and there's no religion involved in it at all. Details are in the description. Now, this is a great deck for you this month. It's called Spolia. It's an independent deck that went out of print several years ago, I think, and I understand that second-hand copies of it are selling for about $700 or about 500 euro. It seems like a lot of money to spend on a deck to me. But what's interesting is it's got an Aquarius card here, which I'll just leave in your spread. And the deck, even though I don't use it very often, when I do, it provides really accurate readings. So let's see what the energy has to say for you this month. Show me the magic. Five of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful painting. Six of Wands. There's the Six of Cups. Here is Ten of Swords. It's okay next to that six in there. Let's see what there is here. And Nine of Wands. Well, why don't we see what these energies have to say and get straight into it? Yes, well, this deck, as I say, has its individual sign cards. Look, this is the back of the deck. Some people like to see the backs of cards. Well, this is it. Somewhat abstract, I suppose. And here is the front for Aquarius, and well, it's rather abstract as well, isn't it? The water, the hand coming out. You know, sometimes we fail to understand that there is a hand that will come in to save us, to redeem us, to pick us up and flood us with infinite and indulgent love and put us back on our feet. But there is such a hand. I want to look. I'll also say about Aquarius that Aquarius is a masculine sign. Now, the Greeks divided the zodiac signs equally into masculine signs and feminine signs. The masculine signs are fire and air. Feminine signs are water signs and earth signs. Actually, I might, speaking of the Greeks, I might put up above here somewhere just a short video that I did on how the Western zodiac came to come about. And there's a twist, there's a reveal in it, which you might find rather interesting, and it might change the way that you view the Western zodiac, but for the good. Now let's start here with what I think is important to deal with. Yeah, well, here we have the moon in the second decan of Sagittarius. Also have the moon associated mystically with the number 9 as a double lunar influence. So this is asking you to look in deep inside yourself, go into yourself, and to come up with the strength that is within you now to deal with, I suspect, disappointments and some thoughts that are coming around, maybe as a result of a loss of a job or actions that people have done or said. There is here a power within you that you can get by unifying your conscious and unconscious energies. There's a determination with you, a strength of character, courage under fire in many respects, defending what you have worked for, and a great belief in yourself. So this is asking you now to dig deep, to go inside of yourself and discover new depths of strength and power that you never thought that you had. You may encounter some obstacles along the way, some brick walls, but let me tell you, brick walls are not there to stop you. Brick walls are there to ask you how badly you want something. If you want it enough, you go through that brick wall, around it or over the top. Brick walls are not there to stop you. They are for other people. But because this energy has flooded in here, you can be assured that you have what it takes to get by. Even in times of difficulty and stress, this inner strength is going to rise up and just push you towards your goals and what you want. And in this process, you'll learn a lot more about yourself and your abilities, and you're going to get an all-new, all-round perspective, which is going to end up being security and self-confidence. Now, here's a great central energy for you, that of this 6 in here, which I have an association with the sun. Actually, I see the sun coming into Scorpio here, so there's a double dose of the sun. And this double dose of the sun, it shines a spotlight on what Scorpio wants to hide. And frankly, I see lust, enjoyment, pleasure in sexual relationships, or in sexual thoughts. Now, if you're with yourself, you can still enjoy that type of thing. There's no problem with that. And there's a rich exchange of heart energy here and an emotional renewal. So I see lots of excitement and opportunity around here. Great bonds. Now, this is a good time for emotional relationships with friends, supporters, family members, or what have you. But there is also a great emphasis, I have to say, on sexuality here, but not uncontrolled sexuality. And here there is also, I think, a pleasure that you feel after what might be a period of some hardship. I think here also, look at these plants, you're going to be undergoing a period of healing and something of a transformation here. There is, however, an emphasis on a relationship or the desire to have a relationship that puts both individuals in balance and where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Now, I get the feeling of some disappointment here, thoughts maybe come from it, but this is on that top line associated with this disappointment, and this is speaking of overcoming and getting past and having success in relation, well, to things in general, certainly to anything which is to do with a setback, such as losing a job or breakups, things like that, because here it's Jupiter in the second decan of Leo. Now, Jupiter is all about love, expansion, and it's also about money, and lifestyle. And this really combines very well with the creativity of Leo. So you get success in getting things to happen the way that you'd like them to happen. You have success in achieving your goals and getting what you want. Now, Leo is also, I notice here, as I say, there's a 6 here. I have the sun with that, as I mentioned in that previous card somewhere. And Leo is ruled by the sun. So there's harmony here. And Leo is bringing you confidence and creativity, while Jupiter is bringing expansiveness and is developing your confidence here. There's victory, success, something of a breakthrough. You'll be feeling inspired to continue. And you'll be getting recognition from other people, and dare I say it, I think you might enjoy being in the spotlight. So there is really I use a word victory, I suppose, but there's success, there's victory over past troubles. Now, you're not going to forget them. You'll remember them, but you have defeated those troubles in the past, and you are going to defeat those that are sitting around you now, and you become stronger. Really, it depends on how you think about it, and that is the important part of this for you, is your thoughts. Really, all is well. You've worked hard to get here, and you deserve success, abundance and love. I've mentioned this thing on this same line as it. What's happening with the astrology on it? Well, it's Scorpio again. This time it's Mars coming into the first decan of Scorpio. Gee, I get a big feeling of Mars energy associated mystically with this number 5 as well. Now, you might expect that because Mars is the ruler of Scorpio, I don't for a moment think that Pluto has anything to do with Scorpio. Pluto was only discovered, less than 100 years ago, and a 12-year-old girl came up with the name of Pluto, and scientists then applied it to it, not astrologers. Well, with Mars as the ruler, you'd expect a great outcome. But there's another dose of Mars in that number 5, and there's a lot of fiery energy coming into the water sign of Scorpio. Now, it's as if that extra heat and energy is evaporating the waters of Scorpio. Now, maybe what is happening, or has happened, and happens to everybody, is that maybe your expectations about somebody or something were just too big. Some unexpected event, maybe like a loss of a job or a loss of relationship or someone's family member's death or an illness, some unexpected event, maybe even just a thoughtless reaction has ruined your expectations abruptly. There's also, I think, the suggestion here that perhaps there are some there's Mars, aggressively smouldering energy underneath the surface that's been there for a long time, and perhaps you've overlooked that fact because you didn't want to admit to its existence. You ignored the warnings of your inner voice. Well, maybe now you have to face the actual sobering facts and look them in the eye. There's an unfulfilled expectation. Maybe some problematic relationships, an unexpected disturbance or ending. Now, every disappointment contains within it the possibility to just take it on board and learn from it. I guarantee things are going to get better. Sometimes, these feelings can give rise to fear. Fear about taking another risk or about making an effort in the future or hiding away in some place where we can't be disappointed again. This is a truth statement that you should have in mind. I get to know my own reality by learning to see where I fool myself or deny my inner voice. Now, let's see what there is here. Obviously, this has got some sort of a connection, I'd say. Check this out. Look at this picture. This is dealing with thoughts. The astrology is the sun coming into Gemini. Well, Gemini is a very polarized energy. It's the third impulse of the divine energy coming into creation that causes things to split into opposites so that they can come back, join up, and do what's necessary to enable creation to have birth and move on. But what can happen is that you just find that the energy of the sun, which is yourself, can get dispersed. The thoughts can get all dispersed and they can turn around and around and around. Well, you don't see a way out or you sit around in despair. But the reason why I say look at the picture is because what is a thought? A thought is a picture. And your thoughts, who makes the pictures of your thoughts? This is asking you. You do. And the words that you put around it, they come from you. Your thoughts and their words, the words that you say to yourself are the most important words in this life that you will ever hear, and they go right into your subconscious. They get programmed because your subconscious doesn't care whether things are right or wrong. It just listens to what you say, and then it works 24/7 to make it happen. Be your own cheerleader. This energy is asking you to just make this your mantra. I am good enough. I am lovable. I am important. I matter. I am the most beautiful or handsome person, as the case may be, in the world. And I deserve success. And I am moving towards success. In a sense, if you want happiness in your life, you really have to manage the content of your thoughts. And we can't go around thinking happy thoughts all the time, unless you're a lunatic. So say, okay, when a bad thought comes in, put two questions to it. What are you doing to add value to my life? And how are you behaving? When you put those questions to the thought, you're asking it to justify itself to you, and it won't be able to do it. And you say, you don't belong in my life because I am good enough. I am lovable. I am the most beautiful or handsome person for 100 miles or kilometers around, and I deserve success. You take that thought and put it away in a prison cell inside of you. Don't accept it into yourself. This is saying to love yourself always in these situations, because this is saying that as you begin to love yourself, you find that anguish and emotional suffering are only warning signs that you might be living against your own truth. And today, you know this as authenticity. As you begin to love yourself, you understand how much it can offend someone if you try to force your desires on this person. Even though I knew the time was not right and the person was not ready for it, and even though this person was me. Today I call it respect. As I begin to love myself, I stopped craving for a different life. And I could see that everything that surrounded me was inviting me to grow. Today I call it maturity. As I began to love myself, I understood that at any circumstance happening, I am in the right place at the right time, and everything happens at exactly the right moment, so I should be calm. Today I call it self-confidence. As I began to love myself, I quit stealing my own time, and I stopped designing huge projects for the future. Today, I only do what brings me joy and happiness, things I love to do and that make my heart cheer, and I do them in my own way and in my own rhythm. Today, I call that simplicity. As I began to love myself, I freed myself of anything that is no good for my health, food, people, things, situations, and everything that drew me down and away from myself. Now, at first, I called this attitude a healthy egoism. But today, I know it is love of oneself. And as I began to love myself, I quit trying to always be right. Ever since I was wrong Really, a lot of the time. And today, I know that is modesty. As I began to love myself, I refused to go on living in the past and worrying about the future. Now, I only live for the moment where everything is happening. That's fulfillment. And as I began to love myself, I recognized that my mind can disturb me and it can make me sick. But as I connected it to my heart, my mind became a valuable friend and ally. I call this wisdom on the heart. You don't need to fear loss, arguments, confrontation, or any kind of problems with yourself or other people. Even stars collide. And out of their crashing together, new worlds are born. And today, I know that is life. Well, that is November. Well, it was a pleasure to see you, and unless I see you separately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you here again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.